has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's Ferrall on a bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seed, the broken, eat a bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shit. All my finna come up to put the party up. Hey, look who it is. It's the original OG. The golf ticket guru himself. The Tater King, the Tutty Master, Carver High this afternoon, ladies. And then, of course, Frank the Tank, handling his business today for Mafia, who's on the streets. Luke, I am your father, is also with us. It's C2C on a Terrible Towel Tuesday, the rundown. Gabe Morency, a double shot from Vancouver this very hour, plus Dre Cooper, the director of The Money Game, in the second hour. This is a doc about the NIL world we're living in now. And then Carver High hooking up with his boy Brady Cannon, the golf analyst from Sin City, later today on C2C. Well, Mike, I got to tell you, I enjoyed watching the Jets lose last night. I really did, because I'm so sick of hearing about the Jets and the Aaron Rodgers and the greatest defense in the history of the NFL, and just, they're going to the Super Bowl, and they're going to win the East and the AFC, and just, look out for the 10-loss Jets. We should all be so scared. Aaron Rodgers with his 167 yards and a pick. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
Happy Tuesday, Scotty. And just remember, the Jets they've been just a quarterback away the last few years. That's all. They're just a quarterback away. They have a Super Bowl roster that is just a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl. And let me tell you, they looked so good last night as Jordan Mason, not Christian McCaffrey, not Deebo Samuel, Jordan Mason,
who
shoved 145 yards on the ground down their throat. Now, that had nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers, Scotty, but it had everything to do with that overrated, overhyped Jet D that everyone's been saying is one of the best in the NFL the last few years. They got it shoved right down their throat. It's the best. It's the best. Best. They look like the best last time.
They never win. They never win. How are you the best at anything when you never win? And all right, they'll beat Tennessee this week. Congratulations. Will Levis, he'll puke on himself again in Nashville, and the Jets will win, and they'll think they've started a run.
Yeah, look, that's a tough week for them. Like, playing on the West Coast Monday night, having to go back out on the road this weekend. I know Levis was awful last week, but you give me enough points on Sunday, Scotty. I might be able to bite with Tennessee, and I know Rodgers will look better. Here's the one thing about Rodgers that's changed here with him not playing for a year and a half. He's a legit statue now. He's a statue. He's got no mobility left whatsoever, which is expected. He's 40 years old, and he's coming off the Achilles injury last year, but he cannot move in that pocket, and that's going to be a problem because the Jet offensive line, here's another dirty little secret. They're not that great either, and that's going to be a problem for them as well, that he can't move in the pocket, and he's got no mobility. That's going to be an issue.
I bet it -4 and made money.
Oh, yeah. Listen, when the McCaffrey news came out, it went down to 3.5. So this is great. I'm in, baby. Let's go. No McCaffrey, no problem. As they were able to roll it right on him all night long. The San Francisco
4 Horsemen. Woo!
all night long. So week one in the book, and we will talk more about this game later on. I've got, of course, we've got Salah, who's just he's such a great coach. We'll
He's running
later.
stuff.
He's show more clips of him running up and down the stairs at the stadium. I hope they do that before the game in Nashville.
ESPN can't get enough of Robert Saleh. They just can't get enough of Robert Saleh. He's done a terrific job since he's been the Jets head coach at losing every week.
He does not have a good record, that's for sure, as we close the book on week number 1. And today we'll start to look ahead. Week 2, it goes fast, right, Sky? Once Pain Day starts, it's Pain Day for months. I mean, let's go. We got to get right into a lot of week 2 things. Week 2 starts on Thursday night in Miami between the Bills and the Dolphins. So we've got that. We'll take our first look at all the other matchups that are going to be going on this week, including the Chiefs and the Bengals. Bengals going to probably start 0-2 in Kansas City late on Sunday afternoon.
What a shame.
We've got that. What a shame that's going to be as well if that happens. So lots of action for the NFL for us today on Coast to Coast. We'll get to all the baseball. Everybody's playing tonight as well, Scotty. Yankees won last night. Orioles lost. Yankees now a 1.5 lead in the AL East. And I know it was all about Dominguez getting called up last night, Scotty, but Austin Wells, who should play every day. I don't care if there's a lefty pitching or not. Austin Wells should be in the lineup every day. He had the big blow with the 3-run homer to give them the lead. Added on another the double in the 9th to extend the lead.
They've been playing
Wells
him,
has been
right?
excellent.
They've been playing
yeah.
him.
Well, when Lee Trevino came back, they kind of were throwing him in there against lefties. And I think that maybe Boone is figuring it out now.
I'd rather have Lee Trevino the golfer than Lee Trevino the catcher on the Yankees. Honestly, I think Lee Trevino could actually hit a ball with a 56-degree wedge as his bat, as opposed to Lee Trevino, who couldn't hit if it was a mush ball, he couldn't hit it. Yeah. He's awful.
Our friend,
we have never on this show been nice. Okay.
No.
So we're friendly.
Jose,
but we're not nice.
Jose, don't call me Lee Trevino for the Yankees. He should never play. It should be Wells every single night in that cleanup spot for the Yankees. They'll be at it again tonight against Kansas City in the Bronx. Orioles will be in Boston again, where they got smashed last night by the Red Sox. Heavy win, 12-5. And on the NL side of things last night of significance, Mets win, Braves lose.
You lose,
Scotty. So Braves now a game back of the final wild card in the National League, as the Mets now have that spot after the win in Toronto. Unconventional.
How about the Braves? Didn't they lose 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0 to Cincinnati at home, which is just with 2 weeks to go. You just can't lose games like that. You just really can't, especially against the Reds. So we'll get into that. Tons of baseball tonight, and I got our first look at the college football slate for this week as well today, including I've got Sark for you today. And, man, Sark goes right after it. I'm sure you saw I got it for you later. I'll play you the clip. Sark basically told his team, we're not going to do what Notre Dame did. We're going to stay focused, and we're going to go out and make sure we handle business when we're playing lesser teams. So I like that. Everybody's going to use Notre Dame as an example now, Scotty, of what not to do for the rest of this season.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's amazing to me. I sent you a story about Riley Leonard's shoulder, and I thought to myself, here I am still covering Notre Dame like they matter. Every bit of news about Notre Dame becomes a national story, and that's a joke. Programming note. Tomorrow I will be flying to and I'll be broadcasting live C2C with Carver High. I'll be in Vegas at the MGM Grand on Thursday and Friday for Canelo and Berlanga. Their fight is Saturday night on PBC pay-per-view from the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on the Strip. So we're live Thursday and Friday from Vegas. Tomorrow, Carver High will be holding down the fort while I go to the Aeropuerto.
is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, you can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific along all our outlets, streaming networks, TV stations, radio stations, satellite radio, Sirius XM Channel 159 with Morency. You can catch him here every day, a double shot on Coast to Coast from Vancouver, where it's always lovely in British Columbia. All right, what did you think last night? I had no problem absorbing the Jets losing. I'm so sick and tired. Now, listen, I'm here. Now, I know you don't like them, and I'm here in New York, and I really don't like them. And I mean to tell you, I have this stuff shoved up my tuchus. I mean, every single day, all day long, everywhere I go. It's so awful that, like, I literally, you know what 34C said to me today? She said, man, you were really pounding them last night. I go, I was pounding them last night. One after the next. Every time the Niners scored, I made another rum. I mean, every single time they scored, I just kept. I was like,
that's a lot of rum because they scored a lot.
At one point, I was like, Ernie Banks. I went, if we were in the fourth quarter, I go, let's play 2. Let's play again. This is fun.
I've always found to be honest with you, I've always sort of felt sorry for the New York Jets, right? I mean, it's a giant town. It's a giant town. Let's call it out for what it is.
It is.
Right? And the Jets are kind of an afterthought. And I've always just sort of, felt sorry for them in the past. But, and there's a big B here, for a team that's never done anything, Scott, the level of arrogance that surrounds this football team, and I guess it's reflective of their leader in Aaron Rodgers, who is probably the most arrogant player in the National Football League. And the guy has as many Super Bowl rings as Mark Rippon does. Has as many Super Bowl rings as Brad Johnson does. Right? Trent Dilfer also won a Super Bowl, Aaron. Right? So when was the last, and when did he win this Super Bowl? Like, seriously. I had
13 years ago.
All right, yeah. So, 13 years ago. And you want to hang your hat on this, New York fans. So to me, I don't know if it's really Jet fan, although I've always found Fireman Ed to be super annoying.
I hate that dude.
Oh, dude, seriously, eh?
I want to
just
punch
the
him
worst.
in the mouth.
I like the guy in Kansas City that robs banks better. There's a super fan.
That guy had it all going.
Yeah, that guy would be like in jail.
Until
People
he
like,
got
so
caught.
dude, you really rob banks just to go to Chief games and bet on games? You'd be like, yeah, man. I was
great.
at all the Super Bowls. I saw it all. You know what I mean?
That's a movie.
No, it really is. Oh no, that's definitely a movie. You know, he had the wolf mask at the games. He's incognito. You never picture in a million years, guy. You just think, what a loser. You sort of like, this guy is a little out there, loves his team, right? Little do you know, the guy inside the outfit is like robbing banks all week.
You can't make it up. It's so great. It's so
I love
fantastic.
it. Okay, but as far as the Jets, they're just annoying, like you said. You know, they never stop talking. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, everybody will watch out, this and that. And you know, for me, the big thing is Zach Wilson. I'm telling you, Scott, when Zach Wilson was there, it was like, oh, it's easy to blame him. Same way like Sean Payton, oh, it's all Russell Wilson's fault. Okay, you still suck. All right, Russell Wilson isn't here. Was that Zach Wilson's fault last night when Aaron Rodgers threw the interception? Must have been Zach Wilson's fault that Robert Saleh's defense got carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
That's Zach Wilson's fault, right? Oh, you know, if Zach Wilson wasn't here and we had a competent quarterback, watch out, we're a Super Bowl team. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, Zach Wilson isn't here anymore. You're the same team. You'll always be the same team. And I'll tell you something. Yeah, they have talent on the field. So what? Every team in the National Football League, besides the Panthers, has talent. Everybody has talent. It's the same draft, Scott. You went 14, I went 15. Oh, what a big difference in players. No, it's how you coach them. It's how you operate. What schemes are you running? I have zero confidence in Robert Saleh. This guy should be a bouncer at a strip club, okay? And you got Nate Hackett. Nate Hackett should be running a fantasy football league.
I think he'd fit into.
Yeah, exactly. He's a tough dude, looks mean. You know what I mean? So, Nate Hackett, you should be like a better. Like, you should be a handicapper, you know, football kind of. But like,
can you imagine how bad he'd brutalize a bankroll?
I want to get his picks. Yeah, Nate Hackett's locks in a week. Like, seriously, Scott, he's incompetent. Aaron Rodgers blowing him off, doesn't listen to him. So you're letting Aaron Rodgers run the offense. The guys have played football in 2 years. And that's the other thing, they gave complete autonomy and complete control to a player they don't even know. They just rolled it. Like, you're so desperate. You're so desperate, New York. You know, the Jets are so desperate for attention. Like, oh, we got Aaron Rodgers. Hey, as a Bills fan, I was like, man, these guys better not be smart and try to get Lamar Jackson. Like, imagine if they got a real quarterback that could be there every week and wouldn't, like, be, you know, meditating in a tomb in Egypt. So, you know what? You get what you deserve, New York. Have fun with it. Have fun going to MetLife Stadium and watch the Giants and the Jets.
Meditating in a tomb. Is that part of his darkness retreat?
Yeah.
Or his psychedelics? Listen, are we on the air? I don't have a problem with psychedelics, do I, Frank? No?
I'm going to be honest. He does more drugs than you and I do. I'm being serious. I don't even do the stuff he does. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's this?
Change the subject, he's saying. I don't know what. He said, get back to the football is what he's saying to me, this guy. So what did you think of this guy running down their throats?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mason was ready to go, man. And, of course, there was a little bit of a little controversy as far as Mason is concerned. He knew he was starting on Friday. They asked him, when did you find out you were playing?
I know.
He goes, Coach told me on Friday.
It's not true.
Shanahan's like, oh, yeah, because Shanahan lied. Well, you know what I mean? Shanahan knew the whole time McCaffrey wasn't playing. So what? I find people in today's day and age, and I'm a bettor, it's none of our business. Well, they should tell us. They should have told us. None of your business. Like, you bet on the game. If he's going to play, he's going to play. He doesn't play. I know it makes it harder. But I've always been of that. Like, that I don't mind when coaches lie and try to protect their team and their players. But unbelievable. As far as the Jets, though, Scott, it's a lot like, it's the first game of the year. It's a long season. They get the Titans this week. They got the Broncos. They're going to get back on track, the Jets, but I don't view them as some, like, scary team. They're not a legitimate threat, the Jets.
What is that? What is it they say? He lies so much he believes it himself.
Yeah, it's not a lie if you believe it.
One more with Mo coming up.
there is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're on with Morency. We do a double shot every day. Catch him at 10 East on his show. It's Kick-Ass Sports Rage. Yeah, I go to, I've been to 5 million Yankee games, Gabe, and I've been to 5 million Devils.
You going to go to a playoff
games
game this year if they make the playoffs?
Everything. Oh, I've been to.
If they make the playoffs this year, the Yankees.
Oh, I go to playoff games and World Series every time they're in it. Like, if they're in it, I go. It's that simple. I've been to every championship like that they won in the 90s, and I even went to every game of the 03 when the Marlins beat them. I was working in Miami at QAM, and I was working with the Marlins. I had a deal with them, and I had a section in left field because no one went to the games. There were 3,000 fans at every game. Literally, the place was empty. And I had a section in left field called the Ferrall-Avidians, and it was filled with like homeless dudes and drunks and junkies. I gave the tickets to anybody. You got crack? Here's 2 for tonight's game. Bring the butter. And then we drank like fish, and we sat out in the left field and made noise and caused trouble. And the announcers would be like, what the hell is going on out in left field with this section of people? And the guy's like, I think that's that Ferrall guy from QAM. He's got some kind of thing going with the Marlins. Next thing you know, they're in the World Series. I'm like, who's laughing now? Then they beat them. And I have a picture over my shoulder in the studio here of me at the Marlins championship party. They had a party, and I was just hammered. And I had the World Series trophy. I wore it as a hat over my head. They actually let me pick it up and hold it and party with it because I worked with the team. So I've been going to Yankee playoff games forever, but they're the only team and the Knicks that I can tolerate in this town. I hate every other team beyond reproach. Carver High hates my team, but I hate the Islanders more. Like, we had a contest once, and it was like me against him, hate, and I won because I hate the Islanders more than he hates the Penguins. I beat him by like this much.
I'm indifferent to most of them. When, I like the Brooklyn Nets when they didn't have KD and
right,
when
they had Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, I was going. That's when I was there, Scott. I was going to the games. There was only same thing. It was like 12,000 people in the arena only. We're sitting courtside drinking, yelling at the players. Let's go. Jared Allen, Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Right.
It was a fun team of it was a motley crew of ragtag dudes thrown together.
It was.
Atkinson got them into the playoffs. And Scott, you remember they competed with the Sixers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were right there. It was like, wow, this team's actually growing together.
And
they
then
were pretty
Sean
good.
Marks ruined the team.
Yeah, and then he throws, we're going to get rid of Atkinson. We're going to get rid of everybody. We're going to bring KD and Kyrie in. How'd that work out for you?
Steve Nash.
Yeah, and Steve Nash. And it's like, oh, look, we sold a bunch of tickets. You sold a bunch of tickets to scalpers who bought them because they wanted to sell them when the visiting teams rolled in. Like, you know what I mean? You didn't grow your fan base. You know, the Yankees have enough fans. The Mets are the Mets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, Scott, when I was in New York, I loved the New York Guardians, the XFL. It was like a team that I could support. They were new. And you would have liked it, Scott. It got shut down due to COVID, though. They had a couple of home games. They got shut down. I was having a great time going.
Right.
It was at MetLife Stadium. And there was like about 15,000 people at the game, Scott. And they're decked out in, like, all the gear. Right. So I'm in line getting a drink, and I say to the guy, I go, bro, like, it's a new team, man. Like, how do you have all the gear? I said, you're really this into the XFL, huh? And they all looked at me, and they go, no, man, we're all Giant fans that are sick and disgusted of the Giants.
Yeah.
So we're jumping on the Guardians.
Why not?
And now you got the Giants are bad. Like the
They're
Jets,
bad.
Scott, well, at least they'll win some games this year, right? So it's, you know what it is? I sort of thought of Michigan last night, the Michigan-Texas game, where it's like, whoa, we're not quite ready for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can call out the Jets. San Francisco are good, Scott. Let's just call it out for what it is. They're a damn good football team. It's going to kick the crap out of a lot of
Titans. I think they'll win this week.
They should. I'm not betting on them, though. I'm like you. I don't like them. So if they lose, fine.
What about
hey,
your
Scott,
Bills?
last thing. How about this? You got to love the Jets are the only team in the division that lost, too.
Isn't that great? So what about
They're
your Bills
already in
Thursday
last
night?
place.
Because I'm not going to see you
Wow.
until Thursday when I'm in Vegas. But I'll ask you early. Do you like them Thursday night at Hard Rock?
I don't love them, no. I'm hoping that they play well. I'll tell you what, guys, the Buffalo Bills have owned the Miami Dolphins. They've beaten them 9 of the last 10 times that they played. Sheer dominance. Wow. And the one game that they won, it was hot as hell. Like Buffalo were throwing up on the sidelines and cramping up. It was like one of those vicious early season day games.
Right.
I think the Bills catch a break that it's at nighttime. So, yeah, I'm going to hang my hat on the history that Josh Allen will find a way to beat the Dolphins and Tua again in a high-scoring game Thursday.
All right, awesome. Have a good show tonight.
Enjoy
Morency,
Vegas,
my
man.
All right, I'll see you.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year? A wager. It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. we felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The best thing that's happened to me today is Carver High and I talking bad about the Jets. The worst thing that happened to me today is that Mafia is not here to take the abuse.
Not here to take the abuse, but you can give him the abuse when you get there. You can give him all the abuse about
the last time, here's a funny story. So the last time we did this, like a month ago, whatever, we went to the fight, right? So we land late at night. I think we took the same flight. It was like a night flight we took, and we got in there at midnight. And we get there, and you're kind of lit when you get there. You've been on an airplane. You're not like, what, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm walking in a casino. I'm like, let's go drink. So we get there, and I take him to the bar, and I'm like, let's go to the lounge, and we'll have one. Next thing you know, we had 2 drinks. It was like $200. We had 2 drinks. I was like, what? I go, can I get a double? If it's going to be 200, you might as well make it 300. Because, it's such a ripoff, and it's so unbelievable how they get you out there. It really is. It's criminal. It really is criminal. I should actually be allowed to leave the casino with a giant slot machine strapped to my back to take it up to my room to smash it open and take all the money out of it because they rip you off so bad. And you can quote me on that, too. I have no allegiances to any of these giant casinos in Las Vegas, and I never will, and no one's ever going to make me suck up to them either. I can guarantee you that. I'll become a fisherman, like Morton the fisherman. I'll become. Send me out on the Andrea Gale, Carver High.
You're gonna have to find you another way if you're looking to take the slot machine, because most people just put those slips in now that doesn't have any actual money. So there's really not a lot of actual money that passes through.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, people still pump. Listen, people still pump the 20s and the 100s in there. But for the most part, like the payout and the slips, they make you take the slip over to the window now.
Wheel of Fortune at the D with you.
Yeah.
And I think we hit for $250 or something, and we drank it all in less than 30 minutes. We got 250. We won at the Wheel of Fortune, and we drank it all in literally less than 35 minutes.
That's usually what you should do when you win out there. All right, we'll clean up the rest of last night. Jets lost to the 49ers 32-19. Of course, Jordan Mason fills in for Christian McCaffrey, who, of course, it was known just a couple of hours before the game that he wasn't going to play. It seemed like all the days leading up, that McCaffrey would go. Mason fills in for $147 and this touchdown on Niners Radio, KNBR, the leader.
Ayuk behind Bell left. They run Mason off the left side, a cutback run. Touchdown! San Francisco!
A little Mason madness on the cutback right off an unbelievable block by George Kittle.
So that's my guy and dear friend, Greg Papa, the greatest voice in pro football with the 49ers. Can you imagine the stupid-ass Raiders let him go?
I was just going to say that to you.
Are you? I saw him at the Super Bowl. I go, it's the worst decision in modern history of any business ever, including sports. And he is such a trip. And the sports leader, where I worked, as you know, for one glorious year in San Francisco. Great city, I'll give you that. I am not a Niner fan at all. I just wanted to put that out there as well. I pulled for them last night on a betting purpose only. I don't root for them ever. I hate them too. In fact, they're stuck on 5 Super Bowls. If they don't win another Super Bowl before I'm in a casket, it'll be a great day.
Well, before we drag the Jets around a little bit more, because we never have a problem doing that here on Coast to Coast, let's do this first. You and Gabe briefly mentioned this, and that was this stuff that's now going to go on with Mason and when he was told he was starting. Of course, people are sensitive about this now, Scotty. with injury reports and betting and all of these things. Obviously, it would have been nice to know 3 days ago that maybe McCaffrey wasn't going to play on Monday night. So Mason has the game of his life. The kid has a huge smile on his face, and he talks to the girl on the field after the game, and she asks him, when did you know you were going to start? And probably expected him to say like 2 hours ago. And he goes, oh, yeah, they told me Friday that I was going to be starting in the game, which clearly he was not supposed to divulge that information because then Kyle Shanahan had to lie about it after the game.
Jordan said after the game he was told on Friday night he was going to start. When did Christian start feeling awry?
I never told Jordan he was going to start. Told me he had to be ready a bunch, but that might have been Bob.
This guy lying because he's used to that. The kid is who I'm upset about because now here he is, Scotty, and it's clearly they gave him the business in the locker room or took him to the side and told him you shouldn't have said that and ruined his night because then he goes to do the full media with everybody, all the local reporters, all everybody, and the kid is just like beside himself. And you can tell he's just had an absolute. He looks like he ran for 2 yards instead of 147. Look at this kid Mason afterwards, Scotty, talking to the media. I first felt miserable for him.
When did you find out that you'd be in the starting lineup?
That question right there is why I'm at. That's why I don't like really talking to media because you say one thing wrong and then,
Yeah, look at him. Oh, my God.
He should be having the night of his life, and instead he's got to deal with that. And that's what sucks about it, because that kid should be celebrating what he did last night. And instead, Shanahan probably took him in the corner and said, why the hell did you tell him that you told him on Friday we were going to start? He had to go cover himself up. That's it. Just
you know what I would have said to him? I would have said, listen, bro, I just gave you $1.47. You want to buy me a couple beers? Honestly, I just gave you $1.47 and a tutty, and I won the game for you. Can you get me a couple of beers out of your fridge in your office? Honestly, this is stupid. Let's just move on. This is the dumbest story I've ever heard.
Stupid indeed. On the Jets side of things, of course, Robert Saleh, we played that clip yesterday about him talking about expectations. Well, he got a lesson last night. That was a lesson from the San Francisco 49ers who bully balled him all night long. Here's Saleh.
Defense, did not play like they used to play.
Yeah, it's any time. Anytime you get run on like that. And credit to them, like I said, it's a championship outfit, and they introduced us to some championship football, and we'll get that fixed.
Yeah, sure. Here's a newsflash for you. They're not champions. They're not. They're not. They keep going to Super Bowls and losing is what they do. They make it to the title game, but they don't win it. So you're not champions. Okay, thanks. That's reserved for one team.
Right. And he also said last night after that game that I thought we did a lot of things well, he said. I thought we did a lot of things well. What are you talking about? What did they do well last night?
Nothing.
He had one drive that actually went for a touchdown because I know his offense last year really didn't do that a lot. So they did have one touchdown drive.
I thought Lazard played well. That was it.
Well, that was a huge thing for them because he was such a stiff last year that now that he's got Rodgers actually out on the field, he's going to perform. But I think they got to make the defense, to me, like I told you at the top, that's the glaring thing because that's supposed to be his baby, his deal, the whole nine. We're a big, strong, physical defense, and we're going to stop everybody. What was Gardner doing on the sideline, catching his breath at one point during the game?
Well,
and they didn't have him in.
He can't take a hit. He can stop a pass as good as anybody, but that he's a popsicle. Like he's so skinny.
I'll tell you,
he's not meant to take heavy blows. That's it.
Probably could have used Reddick last night, right? You think they could have used Hassan Reddick?
They don't need Reddick. I mean, with all that pressure they got on Purdy with no sacks and everything, they don't need the best player on the team there at all. Joe's doing a great job of saying, we're not ever going to even discuss it until he shows up. Nice job by Joe Douglas. He's another hack. Yeah.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's hear from Aaron Rodgers now. This is just too much fun.
Yes.
I never knew that Frank the Tank was another Gangrene fan, and now he has just had about enough of us. He just said, like, can we just wrap this up already?
We love Frank, but unfortunately, Frank has the same thing that a lot of Jet fans do, and I know he wants it all to end. It's been a miserable, and really, it's probably been really for all of Frank's adult life. They've been awful. So I understand why Frank wants it to be good, but he's already. I heard him during the break give they're going to be 4-1 1 week at a time. Just take it 1 week at a time. Things change fast in this league, that's for sure. Aaron Rodgers, of course, the good thing for him last night, Scotty, was made it through the whole game. It wasn't mobile, but did finish it out. I mean, Tyrod Taylor had that touchdown at the end. He wasn't out there for that. But how about the excuses? Do we have any? There are none, even none that he did not play with the team at all during preseason. He says that's not an excuse. There is no excuses.
I mean, that's an excuse for sure. I mean, I'm not going to use that. I don't think we should. We expect greatness when we step on the field. There were moments for sure. There were moments that felt really good, but not sustained. Felt like if we could just get a first down, we'd be rolling. And we had those 3 and outs, which really hurt us. But I think a lot of stuff's correctable, which is great for coaches. It's frustrating for players because we know how close we were/are. But no time for that. We're going to move on to Tennessee quickly, and then we got a game 4 days after that. So this is a tough opener for us, travel-wise and schedule-wise. But no excuses. We got to play better. I got to play better, and we'll bounce back next week.
How close we are to what? Close to what? They did nothing. Listen, here's the deal. We all watched the game, and all he did was throw dink passes all night. He just, okay, great. So you can throw a screen pass. So you can throw in the flat. Nice job. Oh, little pass underneath. There you go. All of his passes were like 3 yards. Like, what did he do? Like, what did he throw? He threw one decent strike TD to Lazard. That was it. That was it. He threw a pick. He did not greatness. This guy, he is tripping on that euthanasia, whatever it is. And my man is tripping. He literally, it's been 13 years since he won that ring, and he is delusional. He really is. He thinks he's like the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. Bro, I mean, you are so far from being the greatest quarterback ever. It's not even funny. I'll tell you another thing. People can say whatever they want. I thought Brett Favre was a better winner than him. I thought Brett Favre was more exciting than him, and he won more than him, too. You can say whatever you want. I don't care how many people Brett Favre ripped off, stole from, who he slept with, who he sent pictures of his package to. Like, I don't care at all about any of that. All I know is that guy slung it and won, right? Did he not?
He did. He slung it and he won. That is for sure. So the Jets are off to Tennessee, which we'll talk about throughout the week. Week number 2, they're playing their first 2 games on the road. All right. We will start to move towards week 2 now, Scotty, as Pain Day moves quickly. Everybody has now played a game. Now let's get ourselves ready for the next one. I'll start with the Steelers just because this happened right before we came on. Of course, Tomlin always does his press conferences on Tuesdays. One of the few guys in the league who does that, the weekly pregame press conference. And the quarterback is what we need to know about. He says he's preparing right now as Justin Fields is going to be the starter. Now, I listened to it, Scotty, quickly. I know a lot of people just ran around and said, Fields is starting on Sunday. End of story. He didn't necessarily say that. He said he's preparing as if Fields is going to be the starter. But he also threw like a little hook in there that if Wilson does some stuff at practice Thursday and Friday, that he could start as well. So I think it's like 85% Fields, 15% Wilson, not a full 100%.
Yeah, I can't go through this every week. I can't. I just cannot
it's painful.
Take it. I'm going to have to call a shrink. I just can't deal with who's starting for the Steelers. Neither one of them matter. They don't. I mean, they won with 6 field goals. Justin Fields did absolutely nothing in that game. Nothing. He less than 0. Wasn't that a movie? All I know is it doesn't matter which one of them starts. They both stink. I mean, honestly, like we've had this conversation like how many times? Like, no one is afraid of Russell Wilson anymore. And Justin Fields, everyone just thinks he's going to throw a pick because that's all he ever does.
Well, of course, everyone was kind of excited because they wanted Wilson to play the big revenge game in Denver this week against the Broncos, who I don't know what he would be so upset about, revenge game. They gave him like $200 million to play there for 2 years, so I don't know why he would be so upset with them. They gave him tons of money.
There's nothing better for life. There's nothing better than having someone get rid of you and they owe you $90 million.
Yeah, that's not a bad gig. The Steelers right now are 3-point favorites in Denver with a nice low total.
I'll never
of 36.
forget. I'm out. I got 5 left. I'll never forget when the CEO at a company I was working at got fired, and I saw him flying through the air in his golden parachute with $40 million, and he had a big smile on his face. And I was like, my man doesn't give a rat's ass. He just got fired. And the guy next to me goes, yeah, they gave him $40 million buyout. I was like, oh man, I can live with that. $40 million to fire me. Oh my God!
That's an easy way to come back home through the door, right?
The golden
come back
parachute.
In.
Your boy's
fired,
flying through the skyscrapers in Manhattan.
I got $40 million with me. That's not a bad day. We'll be okay now with $40 million. All right, we'll come back and we will get into the first game of week number 2. That is Thursday night. You and Gabe were talking about it a little bit before, where the Bills and the Dolphins will get together again. The Bills have been very dominant in this series against Miami as they have taken it to them. And Gabe brought up a great point. They got a huge break playing this game at night because the Bills do melt in the heat down there in September. And the game being under the lights without the sun out, I think is a nice advantage to them. So we'll hear from McDermott. I'll give you the numbers and other things about the Bills and the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's not bad there at night with no sun out. That's nothing. It's just hot. It's not blazing, sweaty, like overwhelming heat.
There's going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
You know what? What can one of these quarterbacks or wide receivers do for me this year to make a wager? It's got to be the running conditions there for Jaden Daniels.
In regards to Jaden Daniels, you know I was on him in regards to the Heisman Trophy. I actually think he's going to do it on the ground, through the air, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, playing in Cliff Kingsbury's offense where he wants to spread it and throw it. I think he's going to put up dynamic numbers.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.
He had 4 grabs in the first half for just over 30 yards, was injured, came back in briefly, and then had to be carted off.
We were pessimistic on Puka Nakua's injury to the same right knee, of that being a nothing, just a bursa, and that's it, as per Sean McVay. We felt there could be a small PCL component.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so let's start with the Bills here, Mike.
Yes, let's start with the Bills. And, of course, they will play in Miami on Thursday night, and we will hear from Sean McDermott first. Allen, okay, by the way. We mentioned that yesterday. There's nothing wrong with the left hand. He's going to be good to go. And as far as knowing the team, they know the Dolphins very well. They play him twice a year. They played him 3 times, a couple with the playoffs 2 years ago, too. Here's McDermott on Miami.
Yeah, no, they got probably the best team speed in the league, and in all 3 phases, quite frankly. So it'll be a big challenge for us going down there. And, they're a really good team, a lot of talent, well coached, good special teams as well. And
he looks like that blue man group,
we know what we're going into down there. And on a short week in particular, we got to make sure we get our rest here and make sure we're ready to go.
Allen against the Dolphins, Scotty. Here it is. He's played them 13 times in his career. Josh Allen is 11-2. He averages 336 total yards a game. He averages 3.5 total touchdowns a game. 108.7 quarterback rating. Average score, Bill victory, 33-20. Allen has won the Player of the Week in the NFL 3 times against the Dolphins. He has destroyed them, 11-2 in his career in 13 starts.
Well, how can you not take him?
I agree. I agree. The only thing that would make me obviously nervous is you saw some things out of the Buffalo defense on Sunday against Arizona that I think would cause you some problems. Like this game could be it could be a high scoring shootout type of game. The Bills defense has trouble with speed, and when you talk speed, I mean you got Tyreek Hill, you got Achane, you got I think that would be the thing that maybe would give the Bills a problem on Thursday night. I don't know if their defense is up to the task.
Did they not just score 34 points themselves, and they have one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the NFL?
They did.
He can do whatever he wants with whoever he wants against anyone he wants. I don't believe for 1 minute that the Dolphins, who never beat him, are just going to, kick his ass? It never happens. This guy owns them, and I expect more of the same. I do not think the Dolphins are world beaters. They should have lost the game. The Jaguars blew the game. They were up 17-7. They blew the game. The Titans blew the game. You're up 17-0 on the road and you lose. I mean, you're pathetic. Josh Allen, high-scoring game. Let's go. Like the more scoring, the better. That guy, do you remember that guy in the 13-second game? Christ, he threw like 15 touchdown passes. The more they scored, the more he scored. He loves back and forth. Give him the ball.
That'll be that's a nice late afternoon kick for you out there on Thursday also, right? That's like a 5:15, 5:30 local kick for the Bills and the Dolphins on Thursday. Minus 2.5 for Miami. 48.5 is the total right now for this Thursday night game. So this did move 1.5 to 2.5.
I mean, I can't back out of it now.
I'm on the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say why wouldn't I bet on him and then bet on the Dolphins. Look,
Bills
I told you before, I think the Dolphins are legitimately going to be in that East race without a doubt. I think people just think it's the Jets, and I don't think it's the Jets. I think it's the Dolphins, and I know the Bills will be better than people think they will be. And the fact that everyone in the world was wrong about the Patriots, that they're going to win no games ever, and then they win their first game in Cincinnati. You know what the NFL is? That yours, mine, or anyone else's opinions mean nothing because nobody knows jack shack about what's going to happen in an NFL game. People think they have all the answers. I hear guys on our network, this network, that network, everybody's a genius. Betting networks, oh my God, everyone's so smart. And then the games are played, and they're like, how did I become so effing stupid? Because it's the NFL. It is the hardest sport to bet in the world, bar none. Bar none. That's it. You can talk. I got all these people telling me cricket and Premier League and all this other. Listen, you bet the NFL, and you'll lose your money. You're going to lose money.
Don't forget about that, the KBO, the Korean baseball. We got that
yeah. We had guys on here on the grid that were experts at Korean baseball betting during COVID. Honestly, do you remember me calling you is this happening that we got guys on our network talking about Korean baseball odds? What's happening here? Is this happening? I used to call Carver High up. This isn't happening, is it? Is it really happening to us?
I know that always gets you going when I mentioned that. I know that always gets you going.
I got so mad listening. I am telling you, I haven't missed a game in a week. I bet Korean baseball all the time. I know all the starters.
Buy or sell, Anthony Richardson will be a top 7 fantasy quarterback this season. We're keeping this realistic here. We know that nobody would think that he'll be in the top 3, probably not even the top 5. How about top 7, George? Buy or sell?
If he stays healthy, top 5 is not out of question here at all. He's a running quarterback. We know how valuable they can be. My worry is going to be what I mentioned when we talked about the Indianapolis Colts. Boy, man, if Pittman were to go down, there's not a lot to throw. He'll be running for his life half the time there. I like Richardson a lot. Small sample size of what we saw of what he's going to be. I played the 5 games last year before the injury here. So, or a longer season, we'll see if he gets some catch up to him, what he can do. He's going to have to prove he can throw the ball to be down the field here. I'm going to buy this. All right, I want to buy on Anthony Richardson. I want him to be that guy because I want to see the excitement that he can bring. I think smart money might say go the other way because there's so many quarterbacks in that tier that hey, he could have a good year and still not finish top 7. That being said, I think he will show just like he did last year. He's going to be dynamic. I'm buying top 7.
Yeah, it reminds me so much of Cam Newton in the early days too. I'm going to sell on this. I think it's too high. I think most leagues take away points for interceptions. If that's the case, I think his numbers are going to be 20-something touchdowns, 15, 16-something interceptions. That's going to negate some stuff. Yes, he will run. Can he play an entire season? Still very questionable for me. I have him as the 9th best fantasy quarterback at the end of the season, just outside the top 7. So I'm going to go sell on that.